Wakanda has always been known for its strength, its secrecy, and its technological superiority. But even within this hidden empire, there exists a force so elite, so deadly, that even the Dora Milaje stand in their shadow. A group of warriors who operate in the dark, away from the public eye, taking on the missions that no one else dares to. They are the Midnight Angels, Wakanda's ultimate secret warriors. But who are they? Where did they come from? And how do they compare between the MCU and the comics? Stay with me as we uncover the truth about Wakanda's secret warriors, the Midnight Angels. To understand the Midnight Angels, we have to go back to the Dora Milaje themselves. The Dora Milaje were originally created as a way to unite Wakanda's tribes. Each tribe would offer a young woman to serve the king, forming an elite force of warrior protectors. But over time, the Dora Milaje became more than just royal bodyguards. They became Wakanda's first and last line of defense. Now, the Dora are loyal to the Black Panther, but what happens when the throne is corrupt? What happens when the protector of Wakanda becomes the enemy? That's where the Midnight Angels come in. In the comics, the Midnight Angels were created by Aneka, one of the greatest Dora Milaje captains. She was fearless, disciplined, and devoted to Wakanda. But one day she saw something she couldn't ignore, a corrupt chieftain abusing his people. She took matters into her own hands and killed him. For this act, she was imprisoned, but her closest ally, Ayo, refused to let her die for doing the right thing. She broke Aneka out of prison, and together, they formed the Midnight Angels, an elite faction of rogue Dora Milaje warriors dedicated to protecting the innocent, even if it means defying the throne. Think of them as Wakanda's secret resistance, a strike force that operates outside of the king's rule. The Midnight Angels made their live-action debut in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, but their origins are slightly different from the comics. In the MCU, they are introduced as a specialized unit of the Dora Milaje, created to combat powerful threats like Namor and the Talokanil. Here, they weren't rebels, but rather an elite strike force created by Shuri and Okoye to counter Namor's forces. Given powerful new vibranium-enhanced armor, the Midnight Angels were positioned as Wakanda's special operations team, prepared to take on the most dangerous threats. Aneka is still a major figure in this version, but there's a key difference. She isn't a rogue. Instead, she's a loyal Wakandan soldier, chosen to be one of the first Midnight Angels alongside Okoye. Now here's where things get interesting. In the comics, the Midnight Angels are a rebellion. They don't serve the Black Panther, they serve justice. In fact, at one point, they actively oppose T'Challa, refusing to follow his orders because they believe he has failed Wakanda. The MCU's version of the Midnight Angels still serves Wakanda for now. But could this change in the future? Could we see the Midnight Angels break away and become a rogue force, just like in the comics? Let's talk about what makes them so dangerous. The Midnight Angels aren't just elite fighters. They are enhanced warriors, equipped with next-level Wakandan technology. In the comics, they wear specially designed vibranium battlesuits, making them stronger, faster, and more resilient than even the Dora Milaje. These suits are almost indestructible, allowing them to take down even the most powerful enemies. In Wakanda Forever, we see this armor in action. The suits, created by Shuri, grant their wearers increased strength, flight capabilities, and advanced weaponry. This essentially turns them into Wakanda's version of Iron Man, but without the need for an arc reactor. This gives them a major advantage in battle, especially against opponents like Namor's warriors, who possess enhanced abilities of their own. But here's the thing. The Midnight Angels aren't just about brute force. They are tactical operatives, experts in espionage, infiltration, and assassination. They don't fight wars in the open like the Dora Milaje. Instead, they strike from the shadows, eliminating threats before they ever reach Wakanda's borders. Think of them as Wakanda's covert ops unit, a team that doesn't just defend Wakanda, but hunts down those who threaten it. Could the Midnight Angels become Wakanda's future? In the comics, the Midnight Angels become independent from Wakanda, forming their own army to fight injustice worldwide. If the MCU follows this path, it could have massive consequences. Imagine a scenario where Wakanda's leadership is questioned. Maybe Shuri struggles to rule, or a new Black Panther rises with questionable motives. If that happens, could the Midnight Angels turn against the throne? Could we see a Wakandan civil war, with the Midnight Angels challenging the Black Panther? And let's not forget one major possibility, Doctor Doom. In the comics, Wakanda has a long history with Latveria's infamous ruler, Doctor Doom. He has tried to steal vibranium, conquer Wakanda, and even manipulate its leadership. If Doom enters the MCU, the Midnight Angels could become Wakanda's last defense against his influence. Could the Midnight Angels go from being Wakanda's hidden warriors to its true protectors? Could we see them become independent? Could they turn against their own leaders? And if Wakanda ever faces a true crisis, could the Midnight Angels be the ones who save it? What do you think? Do you want to see the Midnight Angels rise as an independent force in the MCU? Could they be Wakanda's future, or will they always serve the Black Panther? Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the Marvel Universe.